I killed my
One
lady.
person who was at the Capitol that day, as you know, was your vice president, Mike Pence, who says that you endangered his life on that day.
I don't think he was in any danger.
Mr. President, do you feel that you owe him an apology?
They were chanting, "Hang Mike Pence, hang Mike Pence." You really don't think he was in any danger, Donnie boy?
No, because he did something wrong. He should have put the votes back to the state legislatures, and I think we would have had a different outcome. I really do.
No, he could not have done that legally. It would not hold up in an actual court of law. It would not have held up in a mock trial. He would have had to been federally indicted if he did something so brazen, which he couldn't have, okay? So this is why so many people get into legal trouble working for. They either have to do something illegal because he orders them to, or betray because all he stands for is, unfaltering loyalty. Not to the American people, but your unfaltering loyalty to him. So,
but you know why he said that? He's thinking he's going to bring the fake electors. Remember I told you he had a backup plan?
Yeah.
They had a fake election from like 3-4 different states, from Michigan, Milwaukee. This was so it's unbelievable that in this day and age that he's going to get away with it. I don't understand. What are we supposed to do? Like the people who voted for Biden, like 85, we're supposed to say, "Oh, all right, he cheated." It's not going to happen. What they did to Al Gore in 2000 was shameful. You know why they did that to Al Gore? Because Al Gore didn't have no people to back him up. The deep state was behind George W. Bush. His father was the former head of the CIA. Jim Baker, all those big shots. They went in there to Florida tumblers and take a.
You know who else the Bush family has ties to?
Huh?
Yeah.
The Nazis?
Yeah.
I know they had the tie to Bin Laden and all that stuff. But I know Al Gore really wanted.
That's a story for another day, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right. It just keeps on getting worse and worse and worse.
I am inclined to pardon many of them. I can't say for every single one, because a couple of them probably they got out of control. But when you look at Antifa,
everybody storming the Capitol that day got out of control, mister.
What they've done to Portland, and if you look at Antifa, look at what they've done to Minneapolis and so many other places. Look at what they did to Seattle and BLM. Many people were killed. These people.
My president.
No.
What
okay.
Antifa was like anti-fascist, right?
Yeah, it's this loose organization of people who, LARP and dress up in masks and, just intimidate Nazis,
I don't know. I'd have to look at their case, but I will say in Washington, D.C., you cannot get a fair trial. You cannot. Just like in New York City, you can't get a fair trial either.
So, okay, pardon literally everybody even suspected of any crime in Washington, D.C. A traffic violation? A divorce case, a crime of petty theft. Like, can't get a fair trial in Washington, D.C., Omar. Never happened. The entire legal system would collapse if this guy's doctrine was taken at face value.
I'm going to back home. I'm back home to my family and everything. I'm going to be resigning. My poll numbers went up, and they went up with the other fake charge, too. Because what's happening is they're doing this for election
among hardcore MAGA-based Republicans.
Interference.
Because they love cruelty.
I don't know her. I never met her. I have no idea who she is. I had a picture taken years ago with her and her husband, nice guy, John Johnson. He was a newscaster, very nice man. She called him an ape. Happens to be African-American. Called him an ape. The judge wouldn't allow us to put that in. Her dog, or her cat, was named Vagina. The judge wouldn't allow to put that in. All of these things, but with her, they can put in anything.
Yeah, because the P word,
It's a jury of 9 people who found you liable of.
Unanimously and after a few hours, might I add.
I don't think so, because I think the whole thing, just so you understand, ready? I never met this woman. I never saw this woman.
Oh my God, Donnie boy, pay, right? You were facing her in a picture.
He has to pay that $5 million, right?
Yep.
This woman said, I met her at the front door of Bergdorf.
Well, remember what happened with Cohen? He's probably going to get it out of other people's pockets.
yeah, of course, yeah. He made $200 million out of the fake election bullshit.
Yeah.
About 60 years
we got to give our money to Donald Trump. Those white liberals and those fake Jews from New York City want to take our country. So, honey, we're not going to pay the rent this month or eat 3 times a day. We're going to eat like 2 times a day for a day. And we're going to send our money to Donald DJ. because he is our leader.
Yep. He stands for the keeping immigrants out and keeping our wages up, even though, the working class didn't benefit in terms of under his presidency. But, he's Jesus.
Well, here in West Virginia, our governor.
I tell you this.
Here in West Virginia, our governor is protecting the border. No illegal immigrants are getting into West Virginia. He doesn't know that West Virginia is landlocked. It's not even in the border. That's how we gotta do it. We gotta do like West Virginia does. We keep these fucking immigrants away. It's like those people, the immigrants, they got up one day in El Salvador and said, listen, there's a state called Kentucky and West Virginia. We got to get there. I heard there's a lot of money there. But they're going to travel 2,000 miles, risk their lives, and live just to get to West Virginia. Yeah, you fucking idiots, man. Nobody's going to come there. I mean, I wish that the poor white people will finally realize that they're being used by the Republican Party as fodder. They should just vote their interests. Vote, ask for more jobs, ask for more pay, ask for more health care, ask for more better education, ask for better infrastructure. Don't vote on CRT and LGBTQ and Dr. Seuss and Mr. Potato Head. Don't do that, man. They're using you. They've been using you since 1681, man.
Yep. Senator Joe Manchin representing the state of West Virginia, blocking literally anything and everything having to do with bettering the lives of the American working class. Totally class interest.
The election to the Daniel Justice, the governor.
This is a
good
fake story, made up story. We had a horrible Clinton appointed judge. He was horrible. He allowed her to put everything in. He allowed us to put nothing in.
Mr. President, you're
fake
recounting your version
story.
of events here right now. Can I ask you, given your...
If they smoke, there's fire, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Do you stand by those comments?
I said...
Tape deposition of you from October, and
Let's get
you
better context.
The comments that you made on that Access Hollywood tape about being able to grab women how you want. Do you stand by those comments?
I said if you're famous and rich or whatever I said, but I said if you're
You've been grabbed for millions and millions of years.
You are, and I said, women let you. I didn't say you grab. I said women let. You didn't use that word, but if you look, women let you. Now, they said, will you take that back? I said, look, for 1,000,000 years, this is the way it's been. I want to be honest.
What's his name? Socrates, the Greek philosopher? Everybody been doing it. They've been grabbing them, those pussycats for millions and millions of years. They just grab and go.
Points to your lack of self-control, and I highly doubt that they just quote-unquote let you, okay?
Come on, man.
So, let me... Oh, what's happening?
He used to go on radio with David Stern. What's the Howard Stern and brag?
Hundreds of...
Yeah.
That he asked him why he didn't go to Vietnam, because he got deferred like 5 times. He had bone, whatever his burn spot or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, he said my Vietnam
classic.
I survived the STDs of the 70s and 80s. He bragged about it on live radio. They still have it. If you look for it, you'll find it. This guy is the guy. I don't understand.
Because these rich people know how to use condoms while at the same time restricting that same privilege to, poor and working class people. Well, I should describe it as an entitlement. People are entitled to birth control and STD control.
He was bragging. That's why he didn't go to Vietnam. He said he survived the STD instead.
And then
How can you talk like that?
From China.
He's insane.
Let me tell you.
Your daughter just got a lot of trademark. What do you call that? 3 days ago. What's her name? Ivanka?
Yep.
She just got, what do you call those things? What do you call this thing when you get trademark protected? What is it called?
A patent?
Yeah, she got a lot, like 5, 6, 7 different patents. Just 5 days ago. And he's talking about China.
He's full of it, man. He's full of it.
Oh my gosh, man! I feel so bad.
Pay attention to the caption of this one, the description. Aaron Rupar says, Caitlin Collins has pretty much given up on fact-checking Donny Boy's lies. In fairness, it is hard to fact-check this blizzard of falsehoods, which is the problem with giving Donny Boy an open mic in the first place.
Right, yeah, diarrhea of the
100%, Aaron. 100%.
Diarrhea of the mouth.
But prior to COVID coming in, and then I rebuilt the economy again a second time. But we had, prior to COVID coming in as from China, from Wuhan, which I said it came from Wuhan. Everybody said, oh, you're wrong about that. You're wrong. It came from Wuhan. I said it right from day one.
You're full of it.
Full of it. You just say Kung Fu. Remember, he just make fun of them.
Yeah, Kung Flu.
He never took it seriously. If he only sat down and said, listen, my fellow American, we have this disease. We're going to sit together. We're going to get through it together. Let's wear masks. Let's do everything. Everybody's scared until we find out what's going on. He will have won easily another term. Remember, he was supposed to give $1,200 to people, and the Senate blocked it. And he lost, I bet you, because he didn't give out money. Everybody was starving for money that time. You understand?
Yep.
This man, free. Okay, you want to look at that? Because I want to face it. This man, I can't understand the people who follow him, man. I'm from New York. I told you, I explained to you, I'm from New York. New Yorkers have a sense of other New Yorkers. I could smell a fake New Yorker like a block away. As soon as they start talking, there's a college right there. Get this out of the way. We know each other. He's a con man. That's what he does. He works in the real estate. He has to be a con man. What he does all his life is, you want this apartment? It's $10,000. But the other guy, he wanted to take it for 12, but I'm going to give it to you for 10,000 because you're a nice person, all right? He has to lie. He lied.
Yeah, he has to.
One apartment was 11,000 square feet. He said he advertised at 33,000. He tripled the square feet. Nobody was gonna notice.
Yep. This is the most ridiculous and brazenly deceitful claim he ever made. I think.
You know what they did? The CNN. They said you could clap, but you can't boo. You know that, right? It was so lopsided. It was so embarrassing. It had no journalistic value. It had nothing. It just muddied the reputation. Whatever CNN still have any reputation, because I haven't watched it in a while since since the new ownership came. I just I'm gonna be honest. I used to watch Don. I used to watch Cuomo. What's his name?
Chris Cuomo.
I had a routine. Now I'm MSNBC 100%. That's it. You understand?
Yeah, I mean, I hope the Overton window slowly moves left over time.
What do you think about the United States' current debt situation, and how can we move forward?
Watch this.
Such
Listen.
An important question. So we're at $33 trillion, a number that nobody ever thought possible.
Yeah.
When we had our economy rocking and rolling just prior to COVID coming in,
don't you stop when you finish.
We were making a fortune. And oil, we were going to make so much money from oil, we were going to start paying off debt. But then with COVID coming in, we had to do other things. We had to keep this country alive because it was so serious. But we have to get the country back. We have to lower energy prices. We have to lower interest rates. Interest rates are through the roof. Energy has to come down. It all has to come down, and we have to start paying off.
But at the same time, they say, we've got to lower inflation. Okay, well, it's binary. It's a true dichotomy. You have to either raise interest rates or curb inflation.
But
the national debt has been for 200 years, right? I said 200 years, right?
Yeah.
He increased it by 25%.
Yeah, with his tax cuts.
25% him, and 200 years, 75%. He increased the national debt by $7 trillion. Remember, he should go, I'm going to pay down the whole debt. Shut up. Shut up.
Yep.
Stop lying. You're garbage.
All right.
What's the matter, man?
When we have
just popped it out of the window for a second. It's back now.
Came in with Nancy Pelosi, and they were using, we'll violate it, we'll do whatever. They talked a whole lot different than they do right now. I say to the Republicans out there, congressmen, senators, if they don't give you massive cuts, you're going to have to do a default. And I don't believe they're going to do a default because
my God,
absolutely can't.
But
you don't want to have that happen. It's better than what we're doing.
Let me explain U.S. debt default. Oh my God.
Just to be clear, Mr. President, you think the U.S. should default if the White House does not agree to the spending cuts Republicans?
Yeah, even she can't even believe it. Jesus Christ. Oh, Omar, I'm gonna short of breath.
Economy. He's a piece of guy. He's a
I need to grasp onto something for support, man.
God, do something medically for this guy to get away, man. Don't fall in his bathroom.
I'm losing it, man. Okay, so Let's just finish this clip, and I'll explain why U.S. debt default is bad.
Our country is being destroyed by stupid people, by very stupid.
Yeah, okay, and a U.S. debt default is the last nail in its coffin if our country is dying.
People.
You once said that using the debt ceiling as a negotiating wedge just could not happen. You said that when you were in the Oval Office.
Yeah, it's okay because I was president. You all right? I think Free had just fallen down and he can't get up. All right, here we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Said because he was president, it was okay not to default the national debt. But now, since he's not president, it's okay. So it's okay to default on our debt and ruin the United States economy and the world's economy and create such havoc like there's never seen before. The banks are failing, you idiot. You all right? You have no sound. No sound.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
it was just the button on the mic. Yeah, so... when the U.S. defaults on its debt, because the U.S. dollar and our economy broadly basically upholds the world economy because they have so much faith in us to produce commodities and to buy and to exchange and to do work. The entirety of the world economy just falls into complete and total disarray and discord. If the U.S. defaults on its debts, everybody across the world loses homes, they lose jobs, they lose retirement investments, they lose the ability to repay basic basic liabilities that they've incurred, because the world economy is fundamentally a debt economy. This would spell disaster for the human race. Like an asteroid pummeling the Earth would feel like pats with a pillow. Okay, maybe I'm being hyperbolic there, but the collapse of the world economy, oh my god, it's just something I do not want to think about.
Yeah.
This is a bit of a pivot, but with gun violence and mass news cycle recently, I'm worried that state governments and the federal government are going to act to repress gun rights. Under your administration...
At an hour and a half in, we'll end stream, okay?
Yeah.
Administration, you instructed the Department of Justice and the ATF to ban bump stocks. If elected president again, how would you act not only to defend our Second Amendment rights, but to restore rights that have been taken from us, such as, by example, recently the ATF's ruling on the pistol stabilizing braces?
Yeah, as you know, the bump stocks are actually a very unimportant thing. And NRA, I went with them and they said it doesn't mean anything. Or actually, all they do is teach you how to shoot very inaccurately. So we did that. There's been nobody that's protected the Second Amendment, as you know, like I have. I protected it through thick and thin, not easy to do. But we have a very big mental health problem in this country. And again, it's not the gun that pulls the trigger. It's the person that pulls the trigger. And we have to protect our Second Amendment. We have to protect
Mr. President, you dealt with a lot of mass when you were in office. This year, there have already
okay, that leads into this one directly.
in 2023. If you are reelected, are there any new gun restrictions that you would sign into law?
I would do numerous things. For instance, schools, we would harden, very much harden. And I also am a very believer. I believe in teachers.
Harden.
I love teachers. I think they're incredible. And they love the children, not quite like the parents, but they love the children in many cases almost as much. Many of these teachers are soldiers, ex-policemen. They're people that really
oh my god, arming teachers. Jesus.
Think about that. Let's go full picture. I want to see you before we close. Did you see that new guy, Vivek? What's that, Ramsey? What's his name?
No.
The Indian guy running for president. What's his name?
Vivek Ramsey. I don't.
Swami, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
He wants to abolish the Board of Education. He wants to hire 3 guards for every school. He wants to raise the voting age from 18 to 26. Shut the fuck up, man. He's saying everything he's talking out of his ass.
And they wonder why younger generations hate the GOP. Folks, are you really oblivious to what's going wrong with your party here?
I want you to get this in your head. And you know who Noam Chomsky is, right?
Yep.
In 2010, they asked him if Russia was dangerous. What's the danger to the United States stability? You know what he said? The Republican Party. He said that about in 2010, 13 years ago. This old man said it. He said the most dangerous thing in the United States right now is the Republican Party, because it is no longer a parliamentary entity. It's not. It's an insurgent. Insurgents is an insurgents. Hello, say hello. So the whole idea is that there is no such thing. The Republican Party is going to implode. Trust me, if we're alive, for God's willing, in 10 years, the Republican Party will be decimated, and something out of the ashes is going to come, something either new or better, whatever. Something has to come, because right now, all the Republican Party is just. Hold on, it's just that it's the what do you call it? It is the political arm of white nationalism, and it's a shame.
Yeah, Nazism.
What this party has done, it has a long history. It is a party that did a lot of good things. Whether you agree with them or disagree, it's good to have two healthy political parties fighting for ideas. But when you have another party, it doesn't have no more any ideas. It's just talking out of their asses, and it's producing people like Margie Taylor Moore, Bober, and all these crazy people making up things, investigating the investigators. We should demolish the FBI. We should do that. This is a dangerous political, and it's going to implode sooner or later. It's going to implode. They are one policy away from imploding. I wish, before we go, I wish that one day somebody will leak the pictures of these children who gets killed by the IR-15. Like how I know it sounds evil, but that's the only way it's going to get through. Because remember that lady, that black kid who got Tellus?
They have no empathy.
That kid, Tellus, who got killed like 50, 60 years ago. And he was so burned, so beat up, so bad. The mother had an open casket so the people could see what they did to her son. And the whole world saw, and then change came. If you put these kids, because these AR-15s, I don't know what they say, they cut them to pieces. Sometimes they even recognize the kids.
It's made to maim.
Shock the American people. Shock them, because these people do not care that their children are dying. They don't care about children. They don't care. Anyway, anything you want to say before we go?
No. Well, I do. Besides all the politics, it's just great to, have been talking with you, man. This world.
Me too. I'm really happy. I'm doing all right. I mean, I have health issue. You know that. Remember that time I got sick a month ago?
Yep.
I have an issue with my lungs. I don't know if it's a lung disease, whatever it is. So when I don't know, I hope it's not. But I'm really scared about it. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Right.
I don't know. I used to smoke. I quit 20 years ago, whatever, more than 20 years ago. Let's just hope for the best, man. This keeps me going, man. And I really miss you, man. I really do.
I missed you in the 3 weeks too, man.
Yeah, I saw your video, the last video you did. I think about 3 days.
Yeah,
ago.
on Rolo.
Yeah, on Rolo. Yeah. All right. Take care.
All right. Yep. That's it for today. There's just way too much for us to cover in one stream. But thank you.
I enjoyed every minute of it. Okay.
Yep. Thank you very much, Omar.
I see ya, and I don't want to be ya. Bye bye.